Please stand for the presentation of the colors presented by the Albuquerque Fire Rescue Color Guard and for the singing of our national anthem sung by Lieutenant Bobby Garcia.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Forward, arm.
All right, everybody can be seated. Good afternoon. I am Deputy Chief Emily Jaramillo with Albuquerque Fire Rescue, and I would like to welcome everyone to the Fall 2021 AFR and IFF Local 244 Recognition and Promotional Ceremony. Here this afternoon with us is City of Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller, City of Albuquerque Chief Administrative Officer Sarita Nair, Albuquerque Interim Fire Chief Jean Gallegos, IAFF Local 244 Union President Justin Cheney, and then we would also like to recognize the AFD Retirees President is also with us, Carrie Horton. And then if we could also have, I see some fire retirees in the audience, if we could have all of our retired AFR, AFD members stand. This afternoon's ceremony consists of recognizing several members who have gone above and beyond what is required of them both on and off duty. We will also formally promote 31 members of Albuquerque Fire Rescue. I would now like to invite driver David Myers, who will lead us in the invocation.
Morning, everybody. The world is in desperate need of good leaders. Men and women who aren't afraid to do the right thing, to do the hard thing, the necessary thing. We need leaders who understand the world isn't black or white, but it's wildly complex. It's infinitely nuanced and forever lived in the gray. We need empathetic people who take seriously the charge of serving people who can never do a single thing for you. That is what we seek. A dedicated collective of those willing to prioritize the other, build up the other, encourage the other for the betterment of our community, for we are all made by community for community. So may we take up the mantle of provision with an unwavering resolve. May we guide with a profound sense of honor and integrity, above and beyond, and may we never lose sight of why we started. May we always carry the heavy burden of stewardship with grace and a tenacious spirit that inspires everybody around us. Amen.
Thank you, Driver Myers. Yesterday, AFR responded with APD to a scene where 4 APD officers were shot. AFR personnel took swift action to get the injured officers off the scene, provided treatment en route, and ultimately helped contribute to saving the lives of these officers. AFR would like to extend our support to APD and the families of these officers during this difficult time. We would like to pause and offer a moment of silence for the injured officers and their families. Thank you. I would now like to invite the Mayor of Albuquerque, Tim Keller, to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Deputy Chief, and good afternoon. It's wonderful to see all these families here and a tremendous group of leaders that we're excited to promote at Albuquerque Fire Rescue. Let me begin by echoing what Deputy Chief spoke about with respect to the events yesterday. Many of us that I see here, even in this room, including our Deputy Chief, were involved in this situation all day yesterday. And despite the tragedy that happened, there were many heroes who took place in everything that happened yesterday. And some of them were absolutely the members of AFR who responded and literally saved lives. Without going into all the details about how that response was coordinated with APD, how the roads were cleared, the triage that was given on scene, but I do believe, and we continue to pray for the officers who were injured, but I know many of them owe their lives to the rescue effort that was put forth by Albuquerque Fire Rescue. So I want to thank each and everyone who was involved in that, and also the department leadership for always being ready, always being there to do what our city needs. And I think, as everyone here knows, that our firefighters, of course, don't just fight fires. There's medical emergencies like we've talked about, but there's also arroyo rescues, which unfortunately we have seen a lot of lately, car accidents, search and rescue, and everything in between. And throughout this effort, the department was able to do this, and all of you were able to do this, even during COVID. And so I want to thank everyone who stepped up in every way. All our city departments were taxed over the last 18 months, and unfortunately may also see similar stress into the fall. But we know that the city of Albuquerque and AFR stepped up in a major way, whether it was folks in the fire marshal's office helping us with code enforcement, or whether it was everyone continuing to respond to calls despite the personal danger that was at risk for yourself, but also, of course, for the risk for your family, in which case you might spread the virus to your family. So I want to thank you all for doing everything you could over the last 18 months, and truly, not just what you do every day, but in the last 18 months, going above and beyond the call of duty. I also want to take a moment to recognize the families. I know the families here are aware and understand, at least to a certain extent, the risk and the danger that our firefighters deal with each and every day. But I also know you had to deal with something a little bit different with respect to COVID, which is that having one of your loved ones being out in the field every day, no matter where we were at in that health order, before we had a vaccine and everything in between, they were still taking calls. They were still keeping us safe. They were still responding. Thank you for supporting them. I think it's a good moment to actually ask our firefighters maybe to join me in a round of applause to thank their family members and the family members that are here for what you put up with. So with that, I want to congratulate those who are getting promoted today. We're going to read all of the names, even the ones that were promoted during COVID because we weren't able to meet in person. But I want to thank the individuals who have stepped up for that next level of leadership. We know that the burden gets a little harder and a little different each rung of the ladder, but we also know that it's your opportunity to train the leaders of the next generation. And so thank you for stepping up to that challenge for our department and for our city. So congratulations to those who are promoted, and thank you for all you do each day for the city of Albuquerque. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Keller. I would now like to invite Interim Fire Chief Gene Gallegos to say a few words.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Jaramillo. And as Chief Dow mentioned, the last one promotional ceremony we had is, wow. I know that things are not back to normal, but I am so glad that we are able to take part in an amazing ceremony, get back to a little bit of a normalcy with what's going on in today's world with the pandemic. So, I mean, this makes me very happy to see each and every single one of you here today to help us celebrate the hard work that our men and women have done to get where they're at today. So, every year, or every even year, AFR conducts a promotional process. This promotional process consists of an exam for each rank. Take an exam, get promoted to the next rank. Sounds nice and easy. This is far from the truth. Depending on the rank, there are 3 to 5 books that you must read, analyze, and memorize. On top of that, there are what seems to be 10,000 standard operating guidelines, policies, city rules and regulations that you have to read, analyze, and memorize. And this is all done within 3 months. Now, this does not include the requirement courses that must be completed even before they're eligible to sit for the exams. Hours, days, months of studying and dedication. Hours sacrificed away from family and friends. Every member of AFR could testify to the grueling and struggles of studying for an exam and the sacrifices. Sacrifice is a strong word to use, and no one would know that more than the family that stood by us, supported us, and encouraged us during these challenging times of studying for this promotional exam. I know the mayor already took my thunder, but I'm still going to do it. All AFR members, please stand. And I want you to recognize the wives, the husbands, the fathers, the mothers, the children, and the friends that helped support us during our time of trying to succeed and helped us succeed. Please stand and give them a round of applause. Thank you. Newly promoted drivers, lieutenants, captains, and battalion chiefs, thank you for your dedication to the department. With all your hard work, you all continue the tradition that has been in place for decades, a tradition of hard work, commitment, and training to always better yourself as a firefighter and a leader in our department and our community. I am so proud of all of you. Now, in saying this, regardless of what role that you are in or what rank, I have some expectations of you. First, stay compassionate. As hard as it is, don't let running call after call or the negative outcome of a code blue hurts the kindness needed for the next call that you respond to, or especially that's needed to your family at home or your crew. Second, stay humble. Remember why you became a firefighter: for the chance to make a positive difference in someone's life when they need it most and without reward. Third, stay modest. Remember that being a firefighter is a privilege and an honor, and we are here to serve the community because we choose to. And last, lead by example. Those words speak for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Gallegos. I would now like to invite IAFF Local 244 President Justin Cheney to say a few words.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Jaramillo, Mr. Mayor, Madam CEO, Chief Gallegos, family and friends, brothers and sisters. It's an honor to be up here to help recognize all the sacrifices you have made. First, let me say the mayor and the chief stole my thunder as well. You took everything I was going to say, but that's okay. I do want to thank you guys for everything you've done. On behalf of the 900 IFF members that we have in the Albuquerque area, we're proud of everything you guys stand for, everything you do. Those that are being recognized today, I'm not surprised on what you do. Our members do this every single day, and you've gone above and beyond to what we normally do. In the middle of a pandemic, no less. And for those that are getting recognized by promotions today, congratulations, and thank you for stepping up to be the leaders of our department that we need. We've constantly asked for more from you guys, and you guys deliver every single time. But together, if we stay united, there's nothing that we can't do as a family, as brothers and sisters. So I'm going to keep it short, but congratulations, brothers and sisters. We're proud of you guys. Keep fighting the good fight, and we'll succeed. Thank you.
All right, thank you, President Cheney. At this time, we will now recognize those individuals who have made a real difference in their community by going above and beyond and demonstrating outstanding service to their community, both on and off duty. Station 11 crew, would the following firefighters please come forward and line up in front of the stage? I'm going to name you off. Lieutenant Joshua Cisneros. Driver Kyle Fredrickson. Firefighter Dylan Archibek. Firefighter Matthew Klosterman. Paramedic Lieutenant Kyle Christian. Paramedic driver Thomas Zanin. All right, we'll wait for Thomas to get up. On the morning of July 17th, 2021, Station 11C responded to a first alarm structure fire. Engine 11 was the first arriving unit about 3 minutes after dispatch, with Rescue 11 arriving just after. As command, Engine 11 handled additional arriving unit assignments and was able to approach the structure, where they quickly spotted and heard an occupant just inside a window on the back side of the home. Engine 11 determined an urgent rescue profile and performed the rescue of the victim they had located out of the adjacent window. The victim was quickly delivered to Rescue 11, who was ready with their gurney, and began treatment that included administration of a cyanic kit and transport to UNM Hospital. Engine 11 was then able to return to the structure and continue fire control actions that resulted in quickly extinguishing the fire. Upgraded Battalion Chief Ryan Perry stated when he recommended this crew, "I was highly impressed with the professionalism and decisiveness that these two crews demonstrated on this incident, and I believe their actions resulted in a best possible outcome during a critical event." This event was one of 3 rescues by Station 11 over the past 12 months. A second included rescuing a fire victim that was attempting to jump from a 3rd-story apartment window with heavy black smoke billowing out from it. This victim's living room was fully involved and he could not escape through the front door. Station 11C personnel convinced the person not to jump while simultaneously deploying a 24-foot extension ladder for the rescue, successfully getting the victim to the ground via the ladder. The 3rd rescue included Engine 11C, again, arriving to a vehicle fire with a trapped victim, where they quickly extricated the victim, simultaneously extinguishing the fire. Station 11 is one of our busiest stations, and the personnel at 11C not only displayed heroic actions on 3 occasions, but also come to work shift after shift with positive attitudes and strong work ethics. Fire Administration and the IFF 244 are honored to recognize the personnel from 11C today. You guys are just going to have to bear with me because I don't want to miss out on congratulating everybody. Next we would like to recognize our Paramedic Graduates, and I am not sure who was able to make it. I know we have 1 firefighter on a deployment right now. We had 3 firefighters complete paramedic school and graduate last month from paramedic training at UNM. It's about a year of training, and just like everything else with COVID restrictions, we were limited into who we could have attend the graduation. So we would like to have them come forward to be recognized. Firefighter Ryan Hill, who I know is on deployment, so he won't be here. Firefighter Carlos Miranda, and Firefighter Craig Amend. Okay, we're going to change up the order on the next one. All right, next, would the following firefighters please come forward to be recognized? Lieutenant Jacob Gray. And Wrigley. For those of you that don't know, Jacob Gray is our handler for our crisis canine Wrigley, so she comes everywhere with Jacob. Driver Greg Ortiz. And driver Victor Carrillo. I was reading an article last week that contained the quote, "In a time when everyone is throwing bricks at each other, we should be using those bricks to build bridges." That quote exemplifies the volunteer project that Albuquerque Fire Rescue is recognizing these members for today. In November, I need Battalion Chief Chris Ortiz here. He's my cry backup, and he's not here. In November, an elderly woman suffered a house fire where her home sustained significant damage. Unfortunately, she did not have insurance and was displaced to a hotel. Members of her family reached out to APD officers on scene for help, and it just so happened that one of the officers on scene has a father, Hence Williams Jr., a retired federal police chief who also volunteers for Habitat for Humanity. And because of his generosity and commitment to serve, this project took off. About a month into the project, I was contacted to see if we could assist with finding donations. I met him at the home, and let me tell you, the home was in a shocking state. They had just ripped out the fire-damaged walls and floor, and the main room was stripped down to the dirt foundation of the house. It was the middle of the winter, it was cold, and it was barely a structure at that point. It was also clear that the plumbing and electrical were all substandard, and it was apparent that there was a lot of work ahead for the volunteers. I reached out to the local nonprofit, Firefighter Random Acts, through Lieutenant Jacob Gray, who sits on the board. Jacob tirelessly worked during his time off to find multiple donations to sustain the major repairs needed for the house. Jacob and his family also attended multiple cleanup events at the home. Without the hard work Jacob put in to find donations totaling tens of thousands of dollars, this project would have never been completed. One of the major issues with the home was that the family had not had running water for over 10 years, and the plumbing was also out of code. Driver Greg Ortiz is not only a valuable member of AFR, and before I say this, most firefighters have a part-time job, a trade, because 4 days off, you have to keep busy. Driver Greg Ortiz is well known as one of our plumbers in our department. So I called Greg and I told him about the project, and without hesitation, he immediately jumped in to see how he could help. I don't think he knows what he was signing up for, but he jumped in to help. This is why we love firefighters. Greg donated countless hours of his own time to redo the plumbing and bring it back up to code. Ultimately, when the woman was able to move back home in June, she had running water for the first time in over 10 years because of Greg's hard work. Another need for this project was stucco work. It just so happens we have driver Victor Carrillo, who's also known in our department for his stucco work, and he immediately stepped up to help when I asked. Victor found donations for all the materials needed, and he provided extensive labor, bringing some of the guys from his station as well during his time off to help restore the home. The time and efforts of Lieutenant Jacob Gray, driver Greg Ortiz, and driver Victor Carrillo exemplify the spirit of service and commitment to community that are fundamental to the fire service. When we think of acts of heroism, what comes to mind is exactly what we just recognized Station 11 for. However, sometimes acts of heroism are more subtle and come with less notoriety. Today, Albuquerque Fire Rescue is also recognizing Hence Williams Jr. If you could please come up and stand with our firefighters. So today, Albuquerque Fire Rescue is also recognizing Hence Williams Jr. as a citizen hero for taking lead on this volunteer project. Without Mr. Williams, this volunteer project would have never happened, and an elderly woman would likely have become homeless. From November until the completion of the project in June, Mr. Williams dedicated several days a week of his own time to the labor needed to restore this home. In addition to the countless hours of physical labor, he also spent thousands of dollars for items needed that we were not able to get donations for. Albuquerque Fire Rescue is honored to recognize Hence Williams Jr. as a citizen hero for serving his fellow community members.
I hate this part, okay? Without Mr. Gray, this would have never happened. He begged people in this town who stepped up and gave us an incredible amount of material. The plumber, I've worked with a lot of plumbers through Habitat. This was amazing. And what he did with this house was amazing. He took it from, I didn't think it was going to work again, to running water and sewage. I mean, he fixed it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ash.
It actually looks good. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Interim Deputy Chief Gallegos would now like to recognize our interim Fire Chief. Jean Gallegos would now like to recognize. It's a lot of interims, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, Deputy Chief Jaramillo. So, gentlemen, please come to the front. Over the last 5 months, we've lost 3 amazing members of our executive staff to retirement. Most of the time, a retirement is not a problem. But in this situation, we had no mechanism to temporarily place a member in a deputy chief position, especially a temporary one. I want to first thank City Administration, Mr. Mayor, CEO Nair, thank you so much, and Local 244 President Cheney for helping us allow to use and implement a process to fix this issue. I would also like to thank all the members who participated and were willing to step up to the challenge for these temporary 3 DC positions. The 3 members that were selected are doing an amazing job and are continuing to help our department move forward and be successful. They continue to impress me every day with their hard work, dedication, and commitment to our department and to the city of Albuquerque. Regardless of the time of day of the week, they are willing to help everyone make sure that the members of the fields and supports every crew that they have the necessary tools to be successful in our mission as Albuquerque Fire Rescue. I can't thank them enough for stepping up to the challenge. I would like to recognize them now. and Interim Deputy Chief Nathaniel Meisner, Planning, Logistics, and Finance. And last, he was unable to attend because he is taking his young daughter to finish her last year at college. Good for him. Interim Deputy Chief Chris Ortiz, Emergency Services. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
We would also, on behalf of the deputy chiefs also, we would like to recognize Chief Gallegos for stepping up into the interim role for fire chief. So this is a quick transition with our retirements this year, which we know can be a little stressful. There's a lot of change, but I know Chief Gallegos got the call from the mayor asking him to step up into that role, and just like he does, he's very thoughtful, talked to all of us, and we're just very thankful that we have such a great leader to help us get through the next several months, and we just also, on behalf of all the deputy chiefs in the department, want to thank you for also stepping up. Okay, we will now recognize the members promoted over the last few months, starting with the rank of driver. And what we'll do is we will, because a lot of you already have your badges, if you want to remove your badge, and have you line up on the south wall when I name you, line up in that order, and then we'll call you to the front. Driver Gary Davis. Driver Jonathan Justice. Driver Orlando Martinez. Driver Cameron McKnight. Driver Samuel Mitchell III. Driver Jonathan Moraine. Driver Matthew Trujillo. And driver Raylan Wimbish. All right, if we can have you guys come through the line and then line up here. And now if your family members could please step forward. You guys might want to space out just a little bit. Your family members can come up and pin your badges on. They're really hard to pin on. There we go. Good job. All right, congratulations to all of our drivers. You guys can go and have a seat. All right, next we will now recognize the members promoted to lieutenant over the last few months. I may have to call them in two groups. Would these members please come forward to be recognized for promoting these drivers? Please come forward to, these lieutenants please come forward. Lieutenant Eric Adair. Lieutenant Eric Bergman. Lieutenant Jarrell Bryant. Lieutenant Ryan Cheshire. Lieutenant Vincent Cordova. Lieutenant Jesse Davis. Lieutenant Eric De La Torre. Lieutenant Jeffrey Forney. Lieutenant Joshua Groves. Lieutenant Alexander Kimball. Lieutenant Jason Randall. Lieutenant Stephen Siebert. Lieutenant Kyle Stevenson. Lieutenant Clayton Vincent. And last but not least, Lieutenant Zachary Webb. You guys want to spread out a little bit for your families. All right, if the family members would like to come forward to pin the badge on your firefighters. We tried to get them to spread out, but they like each other so much that was as good as I could get them to spread out. All right, thank you to all of our lieutenants and congratulations. All right, we will now recognize the members promoted over the last few months to the rank of captain. Would each member being recognized for promoting to the rank of captain please come forward? Captain Matt Bodel. Captain Brian Breezewine. Captain Logan Kerr. Captain Christian Mee. Captain Jesse Murphy. And Captain Jason Ramirez. You guys want to spread out a little bit for your family. Thank you. All right, if the family members of our captains could come forward to pin the badge. All right, congratulations to all of our captains. Thank you. We will now recognize the members promoted over the last few months to the rank of battalion chief. Would each member being recognized for being promoted to the rank of battalion chief please come forward? Battalion Chief Clint Anderson. And Battalion Chief David Castillo. All right, could the family members please step forward to pin the badge on the battalion chiefs? Congratulations to our battalion chiefs. You guys can come have a seat, thank you. Chief Gallegos would now like to present a special recognition for members that were promoted in 2020 that were not able to have a ceremony due to COVID.
Thank you. all that's were promoted now, and in 2020, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for all your hard work. So, in 2020, we had 65 members get promoted. I know across the world, from kindergarten to high school, to getting that big promotion, people were unable to celebrate their accomplishments. I'm very aware that I'm proud of all of them, and I want them to know that I am. At a minimum, I know that it's not their promotional ceremony today, but I would like to name off every single member that did get promoted in 2020 and did not get a ceremony. So please bear with me. In 2020, at the rank of driver, David Lopez, Eric Enriquez, Jason Ward, Michael Patelli, David Adami, Michael Kelsey, Lance McCallahan, Patrick Murillo, Christopher Payan, Dominic Ramonde, Joshua Sanchez, Gary, those ones were already promoted today. To the rank of rescue driver, Jonathan Moraine. To the rank of lieutenant, Jonathan Harris, Ty Doan, Kevin Kenny, Miguel Ortega, Steven Ortiz, Mario Romero, Ricardo Trujillo, Adam Watts, Justin Bryant, Ryan Cheshire. To the rank of rescue lieutenants, Quentin Andes, Kyle Christian, Bernie Estrada, Jacob Gray, Doug Herron, Benjamin Lavarette, Clifford Lovato. To the rank of captain in 2020, Gregory Montoya, Paul Buck, Brian Fox, Donovan Jacks, Vince Mowry, Christopher Epley, Brian Breezewine. Oh, Brian, got you again today. And to the rank of battalion chief in 2020, Jimmy Malik. Please give them all a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Gallegos. This concludes our recognition and promotional ceremony. I would like to invite everyone to enjoy refreshments in the back provided from the IFF Local 244. And we have our screen up to take additional photos with family and friends. Thank you all.